Good evening. Thanks for joining us on Nationwide, reaching you live on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Ruth Aguela. Let's begin with the elections. The All Progressives Congress, APC, has won the governorship elections in Kogi and Bayelsa states. Let's hear from Mia Ogidi. All right, we'll definitely bring you that report subsequently as we go on. But let's move on. In the meantime, President Muhammadu Buhari has congratulated the All Progressives Congress governorship candidates in the November 16 election in Bayelsa and Kogi states, David Leon and Yahaya Bello, for winning their mandate. President Buhari also commends APC in particular and Nigerians in general in the states who exercise their civic rights in a peaceful manner, notwithstanding the pockets of unrest recorded in some locations of the two states. President Buhari condemned the loss of lives in Bayelsa, particularly prior to the election, and commiserates with the families of the victims, while commending INEC for ensuring fair play. The president looks forward to working with the incoming governor, David Leon, to improve the lives of the people in Bayelsa State while ensuring the security of lives and property of the people. The president also said the re-election of Governor Yahaya Bello was a race well run and a victory well won. Well, let's take you back to the report we called earlier on the winning of Yahaya Bello and also David Leon of Bayelsa States. Let's hear from Mia Ogidi.
Like states that were in a labor room, Kogi and Bayelsa have finally delivered, with APC taking the paternity. Indeed, sunrise in the two states. For Bayelsa State, it was historic, an expansion of a political tentacle by the APC, because since 1999, it's been a PDP state. But November 16, 2019, marks the end of 20 years' reign of the PDP. A victory born out of 4 years of strategic planning, 3 months of healthy campaigns, and 1 day of voting. For David Leon of Bayelsa State, it was a contest that requires all his strength to dislodge a party in power to supplant himself. And this he succeeded, leading in 6 out of the 8 local government areas with 352,552 votes against the man a step down on the ladder, that is Doyedri of the PDP. And here comes that moment all have been waiting for.
That Leon David Pere Remini of APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and returned elected. Thank you. And God bless you.
For Governor Yahaya Bello of Kogi State, it was a contest to retain his seat, and this wish was made possible by 406,222 votes against his closest contestant, Musa Wada of the PDP, who scored 189,704 votes.
Bello Yahaya of A Party APC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
However, for the Kogi West Senatorial District supplementary election, INEC declared the election inconclusive, with the following reason.
When the margin of lead between the two leading contestants is not in excess of the total total number of registered voters in polling units altogether where election did not hold or were cancelled. It may be necessary for INEC to organize a supplementary election.
The political landscape of Kogi and Bayelsa states now shift from politics to policy of governance. From the political class to those that contested in elections, winners should be humble in victory and losers be gracious in defeat. Mayor Ogede, NTA News.
In another development, President of the Senate Ahmad Lawan has congratulated the All Progressives Congress and its candidates on their victory in the governorship elections in Kogi and Bayelsa states. In a statement by the special advisor to the President of the Senate on Media and Publicity Affairs, Ola Awoni, Senator Lawan particularly rejoiced with the Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello on his re-election and David Leon for making history as the first governor Bayelsa has elected on a platform different from the outgoing ruling party in the state. The Senate President praised President Muhammadu Buhari for ensuring a level playing field that enabled the people to assert their sovereignty and choose their leaders. Similarly, Speaker House of Representatives Femi Gbajabiamila has called on the people of Kogi and Bayelsa states, including members of opposition parties, to join hands with the governors-elect to take their states to enviable levels. In a congratulatory message signed by his special advisor on media and publicity, Larry Lasisi, the Speaker noted that the victory recorded by the APC candidates was an indication of the wide acceptance the party enjoys in the two states, adding that the victory is for all Nigerians. Bayelsa, the Speaker said, has joined the next level train, adding that the two governors-elect are part of the journey to make Nigeria better. And the All Progressives Congress thanked the people of Kogi and Bayelsa states over the party's victories in the governorship elections and commend the efforts of its supporters. In a statement by the party's National Publicity Secretary, Lanre Issa Onilu, notes that in Kogi, APC is delighted that people of the state reflected its candidate, Governor Yahaya Bello. The statement added that although the Independent National Electoral Commission had declared the senatorial election in Kogi West District inconclusive, they are confident that when the supplementary elections is held, the party's candidate, Senator Smart Adeyemi, will reclaim his mandate. Also, the party's victory that led to the successful election of its candidate, David Leon in Bayelsa State, which has been governed by the PDP since 1999, is a landmark. The party commends President Muhammadu Buhari and the party's stakeholders, including the party national campaign councils for Kogi and Bayelsa, and all those who actively participated in the processes of the November 16 polls for their support for the candidates. And we're not done with the elections. The successful conduct of the off-cycle governorship elections in Kogi and Bayelsa states further demonstrates the will of the people to sustain and key into progressive governance in the country. The political analyst on NTA's program, Good Morning Nigeria, urged political gladiators to take a cue from the lessons learned and work towards entrenching a transparent system of electing leaders in the country. Rajana Adam Sahid will tell us more.
The elections have been conducted and winners announced in Kogi and Bayelsa states, except for the Kogi West senatorial rerun election that was declared inconclusive. The outcome of the elections has been generating comments from various quarters. Guests of Good Morning Nigeria commended the security agencies and the electoral umpire as well as the electorate for the turnout and show of maturity exhibited during the polls.
This time around, INEC could be given a pass mark in terms of the deployment of materials for the election.
All the observer reports that we have received, people have not criticized INEC on the aspect of the conduct of the election. The smart card readers have not had narratives that they were any function. People have not complained about smart card readers, and I think that to a large extent, we delivered on what we are supposed to do.
The polls in the two states were, however, not without isolated cases of violence, delayed voting, alleged intimidation, and ballot box snatching, which are vices that the guests insist must be addressed.
Why should, violence characterize our elections? Especially when we also notice that in a number of countries, even third world countries, these elections take place very peacefully. Likely the blame should lie squared also with the politicians. They are the ones that are desperate to make sure that they get to the office.
President Muhammadu Buhari has already congratulated the winners of the governorship elections in Abuja. Mujanatu Adam Said, NTA News.
In a related development, the Independent National Electoral Commission says all the ad hoc staff posted to Olamaboro local government area of Kogi State for the governorship election are safe, sound, and back in their respective homes. Chief Press Secretary to the INEC National Chairman Rotimi Oyekomi in a statement says the clarification became necessary following reports from some sections of the media that 30 ad hoc staff of the commission are missing in Olamaboro local government area of Kogi State. The statement further adds that the chairman of INEC, Professor Mahmoud Yakubu, has personally spoken with some of the ad hoc staff. And let's go to the judiciary now. The Court of Appeals sitting in Abuja has affirmed the victory of Governor Darius Ishaku of Taraba State after dismissing the appeal of the All Progressives Congress for lack of merit. In a unanimous judgment, the five-man panel of justices led by Justice Chidi Uwa ruled that the APC ought not to have participated in the Taraba State governorship election. Let's hear from Olabode Arwa.
The All Progressives Congress filed their appeal challenging the verdict of the Taraba State Governorship Election Petition Tribunal, which invalidated APC's participation in the election. Governor Darius Ishaku of the PDP, through his counsel Kanu Agabi SAN, had argued that since the Supreme Court had ruled against the process through which Danladi Umar emerged as APC governorship candidate, the party had no business fielding or seeking to replace its candidates. The appellate court, while agreeing with the submissions of the council to the Taraba State governor, affirmed that the APC failed to prove its allegations of irregularities during the election.
Since the candidate of APC was disqualified from contesting the election, that APC never fielded any candidate and never participated in the election.
The courts accordingly dismissed the appeal without awarding any cost to either of the parties. In Abuja, Olabode Arwa, NTA News.
This is Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. Let's take a break. We'll be back shortly, so don't go anywhere.
The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, cordially invites the general public to the 2019 Abuja Carnival, taking place between 23rd and 25th November 2019. Theme: Culture for Peace. Street Carnival and Opening Ceremony. Saturday, 23rd November 2019. Venue from Old Parade Ground to Area 1, Abuja. Time from 8 a.m. to 1:30 p.m. Other cultural activities on display are Children's Fiesta at GSS Area 10, Garki, Abuja. Durbar at Kuje Stadium. Boat Regatta at Jabi Dam. Masquerade Fiesta at Government Day Secondary School, Gwagwalada. Traditional Cuisine Fair and Bush Bar at Old Parade Ground. Command Performance and Award Night, as well as Contemporary Music Fiesta at the Old Parade Ground from 23rd to 25th November 2019. Time from 8:30 p.m. till dawn daily. Deaconess Grace Isu Gekbe, Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Information and
Deep offshore act signed by President Muhammadu Buhari, gains and prospects is the focus on NTA Tuesday Live. The program on Tuesday at 10:30 p.m. will be incisive and informative. Don't miss it.
The Joint Committee of the Senate and House of Representatives on Finance cordially invite members of the public to a public hearing on the Finance Bill 2019, slated to hold on Tuesday, November 19, 2019. Venue is the Conference Room 231, New Senate Building, National Assembly Complex, Abuja. Time, 11 a.m. prompt. Copy of the Finance Bill 2019 will be published in national newspapers. Invite stakeholders are Honorable Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice, Honorable Ministers of Federal Ministry of Trade and Investment and that of Ministry of Petroleum Resources, the Governor, Central Bank of Nigeria, all State Honorable Commissioners of Finance, all Chairman of State Board of Internal Revenue, all Managing Directors and Chief Executive Officers of all revenue-generating agencies, members of the public. Signed, Senator Solomon O. Adeola, FCA, Chairman, Senate Committee on Finance. Right Honorable James A. Faleke, Chairman, House Committee on Finance.
When you think about hospitality and affordable luxury away from home, then you talk about Sharon Ultimate Hotels, a secured and serene environment that offers kingly services such as 24-hour room service, impeccable security with CCTV surveillance, parking lots, free Wi-Fi internet service, free complimentary breakfast, restaurants that offers continental and local dishes, well-equipped fitness center with instructors, swimming pool, 350 capacity multipurpose hall, laundry service, pastry corner, mini mart, and our suites are breathtaking. For reservation, locate us at plot 1710, Tafawa Balewa Way, Area 3, Garikia, Abuja. Sharon Ultimate Hotels, the ultimate place.
For over a decade, we celebrate and reward African creatives around the world at the African Academy Awards ZAFA 2019 in Abuja, Nigeria. The second homecoming event is a 3-day gathering of industry stakeholders and enthusiasts to network as well as encourage and motivate budding talents. The movie screenings, exhibitions, and masterclasses will hold at the Silverbird Galleria on the 22nd to 23rd November 2019. The awards and gala night on the 24th of November 2019 at the prestigious Transcorp Hilton Hotel Abuja. For inquiries and sponsorship, advert placements, and tickets, call the following numbers on your screen now or visit www.zafa.org.
This is wonderful.
I'm super excited about it. Nothing is expected of them other than awesomeness.
ZAFA 2019. Come expecting the unexpected.
Thanks for staying tuned. Right now, let's head to Lagos to join Michael Olaleye to bring us more reports on Nationwide. Good to see you, Michael.
Good to see you, Ruth, and welcome to Lagos. The Nigerian Navy has impounded more than 30,000 empty jerrycans and 328 jerrycans containing petrol at the Atlas Cove in Lagos. Paul Mukago reports that Commander NNS Beecroft, Commodore Ibrahim Shetima, led the operation.
The Atlas Cove is an important national asset and hence regular surveillance by the Nigerian Navy and other security agencies. This seizure by NNS Beecroft follows an intense surveillance of the area. Commodore Ibrahim Shetima, who took journalists round the hideout of perpetrators of the illicit act of bunkering, announced that stiffer measures await economic saboteurs.
There had been sufficient fuel supplies in the country for the past 3 years, which is unprecedented. And now for these miscreants coming to do this, the colossal amount of money that is costing the government is huge. And these guys take this product possibly out of the country to the neighboring countries. And so we have to find a way to ensure that we deal with these miscreants. And we'll find a way of hunting and hounding them until we take them down. That will continue.
In addition to the impounded empty jerrycans, 32 makeshift buildings were destroyed by the Navy. In Lagos, Paul Mukago, NTA News.
Concerned about what it terms dangerous and harmful activities to both humans and its environment on the nation's inland waterways, regulators have again met with key operators in the sector to find ways of addressing the mirage of challenges. Dotun Ogniemi reports.
Efforts aimed at addressing the Apapa gridlock gave rise to the use of barges to transport containers via the nation's inland waterways. Recent occurrences have, however, raised safety concerns, with 2 separate incidents of containers falling off barges into the Lagos Lagoon. This and other activities, such as unlicensed dredging, Both mishaps due to wrecks along water channels, among other challenges, necessitated this meeting.
An avenue for them to say their problems, because you will see that the fishermen are the one causing problem for both operators. Both operators, they have problem with budget. But bringing them together, they could interact, say their problems, and it will be solved.
Stakeholders preferred varied solutions.
The federal government and state government must work together. There is no way, if they don't, that's a problem. The issue of regulation is something that we have been trying to encourage our members to abide by.
The National Inland Waterways Authority disclosed that by the end of January 2020, dredgers who do not obtain permits will not be allowed to operate, while barge operators must ensure usage of standard barges for its operations. In Lagos, Dotun Ogunyemi, NTA News.
Since the deployment of the customs sea-going vessels into the high sea, smuggling activities have become less lucrative. This, the Western Marine Command of the Nigerian Customs Service said will be sustained as smugglers will no longer have a safe haven. This is a sequel to the command's latest seizures worth 60 million naira within 2 weeks. The first ever sea-going vessel, named the Customs Pride, was commissioned by the Comptroller General of Customs about 2 months ago to launch an aggressive attack on smuggling activities on the sea. Now the Customs Pride is living up to this mandate, which has led to the seizure of goods at notorious flashpoints and volatile smuggling spots within the southwest coast of the country. Within 2 weeks of operations, goods including 433 bags of rice, buffalo horns, bales of used clothes, and bales of paramilitary clothing materials were seized, courtesy of the vessel.
You have tramadol too. This is part of what we've been trying by all means. And from my little knowledge, this looks fake to me itself.
These 3,025 liters of kegs are not part of the seized items, but they were used to conceal the smuggled goods.
What they operate on is they bring them in, pick on their way back, they pick the petrol. So we've arrested them. They've not even been able to bring them in. Thank God we've even blocked 20 kilometers to the border. No filling station operates.
We found it difficult to do what? To get suspects for this, because these smugglers, they know the water too well. Immediately we stop them, they jump into water.
In continuation of the war against smugglers on the waterways, the command's patrol spans 24 hours. That's our contribution from Lagos. The news continues with Ruth in Abuja.
Hello and welcome back to Abuja. Nigerian economists and experts on international relations are meeting in Abuja with a view to addressing challenges on the country's agricultural and manufacturing sectors, held at the instance of the National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. Now, the aim is to acquire more trade creation processes in the country. National Assembly correspondent Abdullahi Aminu will tell us more.
Gathered here are legislators and professionals in various fields of study. Their concern at this moment is the African Continental Free Trade Agreement and implications on Nigeria's socio-political economy.
For Nigeria to boost its competitive advantage and address the issue of productivity, it has to maintain a reasonably stable exchange rate over time.
If you are going to make a good policy, you have to start by identifying the problem you want to solve.
Many of our stakeholders suggest that there is a need to review the trade agreements.
Access to all countries' markets in Africa and production in tariff are what the discussants say will play a vital role to stimulating local production.
The consequential effect of these realities are the likelihood of undue competition for local manufacturers who are struggling to meet production efficiency.
If all the 55 African countries join the free trade area, it will be the world's largest by number of countries, covering more than 1.2 billion people and a combined GDP of $2.5 trillion.
The belief here is that improved economic policy planning and implementation is required for Nigeria to facilitate its export-driven industrialization policy. In Abuja, Abdullahi Aminu, NTA News.
In other news, Nigeria is to undergo a second African peer review mechanism in line with its commitment to global best practices. Chief Executive Officer, African Union Development Agency, New Partnership for Africa's Development, Gloria Akobundu, disclosed this at a meeting of the National Governing Council of African Peer Review Mechanism in Abuja. She said that the review was long overdue in order to improve on the nation's deliberate and strategic developmental efforts.
NEPAD is undergoing reform. They want to get it right. And at the same time, we're in the preparation of conducting the second peer review of our great country, Nigeria. What does that mean? Assessment report. Where we were, where we are, and where we're going to. Looking at analyzing the gaps, profiling solution.
We are going to achieve a lot in terms of development, in terms of governance, in terms of security, and all this we are doing at the end of the day is going to be approved by the African head of states themselves. Once we finish this peer review, our recommendations is also.
The Nigerian government was also encouraged to provide adequate funding for the review to check itself in various areas of governance in order to encourage all the countries on the continent to conduct their own peer review. The process comes almost 11 years after the first peer review was conducted in 2008. Now let's move to all the issues. Correctional service officers' wives are currently undergoing training in mediation as part of efforts by the Nigerian Correctional Service to effectively take on its non-custodial duties as enshrined in the new Correctional Services Act 2019. Victor Azu reports that the training is in collaboration with the Nigerian Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators.
In a bid to take on their new non-custodial roles with greater results, the Nigerian Correctional Services, through the Officers' Wives Association, is collaborating with the Institute of Chartered Mediators and Conciliators to enhance the capacity of members in conflict resolution. This is to enable them provide the necessary support from the home front for better service delivery, and the Correctional Service boss Jafaru Ahmed does understand the import of this.
With this kind of programs, our women are better equipped as mediators, as conciliators, and as also people that can settle conflicts in the barracks and in any community they find themselves.
The plan, it appears, is for the officers' wives to also be able to play the same role as their husbands in any community they may find themselves.
Upon completion of this training, participants who have been drawn from across the country will become equipped with the relevant skills and knowledge to become true ambassadors of peace in their various commands and stations.
The workshop is to complement the custodial roles of the new correctional service. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Time now to link up with Asmau in Sokoto for reports trending at that end. Hello, Asmau.
Ruth, good afternoon and welcome to Sokoto. Governor Bello Muhammad of Zamfara says his administration will provide more basic social amenities to the people of the state. The governor made remarks while inspecting some ongoing road projects recently awarded by his administration. Haliru Muhammad Umar reports.
Governor Bello Muhammad has since his coming on board expressed desire to beautify Govin, capital of Zamfara state, through adequate provision of basic infrastructures, especially roads which improve socio-economic activities and make life more meaningful for residents. To actualize this, the governor awarded contracts for the construction of some new routes within the Gusau town and ordered the immediate continuation of others he inherited that were abandoned. The governor who inspected some of the road projects was conducted round by the permanent secretary in the State Ministry for Housing and Urban Development, Ahmad Saleh. Governor Bello Muhammad, who understood the significance of road infrastructure to the rapid development of the city, said his administration will continue to provide other social amenities to make the state capital more attractive.
This road, as you see, is very important to all of us. You see, it's
as well as the central mosque of Gusau. So you should make sure that we finish this job.
Inspections within the Gusau metropolis are also ongoing and have reached various stages. So, but NTA News.
The State Government has approved the restructuring of ministries, departments, and agencies as part of the ongoing civil service reform in the state. Governor Bello Muhammad, who stated this in a broadcast to the people of the state, said the number of permanent secretaries has been downsized from 47 to 26. Salamatu Umar Abdi now reports.
It could be recalled that the President of Bello Muhammad earlier appointed a committee was scheduled with the responsibility of reviewing state civil service and also to provide advice to the committee recommended that ministries or agencies should be restructured for effective service delivery. Among other recommendations, Governor Bello Muhammad announced his government's decision to restructure the state civil service. According to him, some ministries will be merged, while other new. Similarly, number of permanent secretaries has been downsized from 47 to 26.
The structural committee, therefore, invited all existing permanent secretaries subjected to writing tests and interview in order to assess their performance.
The Ministry of Security and Home Affairs, Ministry of Rural Development and Cooperation have been created. Muhammad said, development is meant to ensure effective service delivery and further reduce the cost of government. Called on the people of the state not to take this in bite, but to treat it as an act that will bring progress to the state. From Gusau, Salamatu Umar, NTA News.
According to experts, high cost of governance in Nigeria is one of the economic bans, and this usually manifests in the infrastructure deficit across various sectors. Report Musa Abubakar examines the impact of cost of governance on development. Report.
Construction of infrastructure such as these. This is to bridge the gap in the infrastructure deficit, which is estimated $3 trillion and is widening. Not the case here or in most states in the country. This is because a huge chunk of the states and federal budgets goes to salaries and recurrent expenses, leaving little for provision of public services. This aggravates the cost of governance in the country.
We are still struggling with roads. We are still struggling with electricity. We are still struggling with sanitation, struggling with water, struggling with basic services.
It deterred the government from provision of certain percentages which will pave way for protection or setting up various protection sectors in the economy.
An unsustainable increasing cost of elections as well as cost of maintaining a bicameral legislature are some of the factors believed is taking toll on infrastructural development.
If that is reduced, certain amount of money generated can also be used in order to provide certain essential things that will have the economy moving.
There are encouraging prospects. In some states' 2020 budget, more than 70% of budget go into capital spendings. For now, a departure towards investing more on creating a conducive environment, experts believe will have a multiplier impact on socio-economic well-being of the citizens. In Sokoto, I am Musa Abubakar, NTA News.
And that's it from Sokoto. The news will continue with Ruth in Abuja. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you again. Thank you, Asmao. The federal government is set to launch Operation Clean Nigeria, Use the Toilet, a national campaign against open defecation, which is an unhealthy practice that is still prevalent in many states and local governments in the country. Speaking on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria, Minister of Water Resources Suleiman Adamu said it is imperative for sub-national governments to domesticate the campaign in their domains after the launch.
Tomorrow, 19th November, is designated as the World where November national launch on open defecation done at Eagle Square at 10 o'clock. governors will be there. Expect them to make a commitment and will unveil the law and flags of is not there is no region that get the practice of open defecation. The region should not feel comfortable with the practice. Only at this time, you have a different through what we call led community. The whole aim is to have a behavioral change. You can't coerce people. What you can do is you do advocacy, you do some litigation. It's a carrot and stick approach.
Minister of Water Resources there speaking on Operation Launch, Use a Toilet, Clean Nigeria. Let's talk security now. The Guards Brigade of Nigerian Army is stepping up its ongoing exercise, Ayem Akpatuma, to Toto in Nasarawa State. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa, who accompanied in troops with details.
These are troops of the Guards Brigade conducting environmental sanitation in Toto, Nasarawa State.
When ordinary man sees a uniformed man, especially the uniform of the army, it scares them away. But with this type of exercise, I think it creates friendliness between them, so they will have more hope in the security.
The program is a civil-military relations component of a military exercise codenamed Ayem Akpatuma, inaugurated recently by the Guards Brigade to secure the North Central this Ember period.
Part of the activities we line up is a civil-military cooperation where you see the military coming into the society to render certain assistance to endear us to the larger society.
Medical outreach and educational support program are part of the ongoing exercise embarked upon by the Guards Brigade, vested with the mandate of safeguarding the Federal Capital Territory and environs. From Toto, Nasarawa State, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
And from Lafayette, let's head to Port Harcourt to join Debabari for more reports on Nationwide. Hello, Debabari.
And welcome to Port Harcourt. Reactions have continued to throw the emergence of Chief David Leon as governor-elect of Bayelsa State. The INEC declared the APC governorship candidate David Leon as winner of the 16th November election, defeating his closest rival, Senator Doye Diri of the People's Democratic Party. Timne Priyo here reports.
Chief David Lyon of the All Progressives Congress was declared winner of last Saturday's governorship poll in Bayelsa State in the early hours of Monday morning, as announced by the state's returning officer of INEC, Professor Faraday Oruwense. He scored 352,552 votes to defeat Senator Doye Diri, who polled 143,172 votes.
Leon David was the meaning of ABC, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and returned elected.
Stakeholders commended INEC, security agencies, the electorate for the peaceful conduct of the election. They called on the losers to work closely with the winner for the overall development of Bayelsa State. There was jubilation on the streets of Yenogwa among APC supporters.
And for one to move from one party to another and then victory is here, I think I should be very happy.
With the announcement of the results by the returning officer, it is expected that the winner and the losers will work closely for a greater Bayelsa. From the media center here in Yenogwa, the Bayelsa State capital, Timinopri, or here.
Anyway, from the Bayelsa election now, a combined team led by Nigerian Navy have successfully rescued 4 immigration officers allegedly kidnapped by suspected militants along Bonny-Port Harcourt waterways. Barely 24 hours the incident happened. Kingsley Amajiri has details.
The 4 immigration officers on official assignment were reportedly traveling
on a speedboat from Bonny to Port Harcourt before they were attacked and taken hostage. Men of the Nigerian Navy ship Pathfinder in a joint operation with officials of the Nigerian Navy Forward Operation Base, Bonny, swung into action in search of the kidnapped immigration officers. The naval operation to suspected militant camps paid off, resulting in the rescue of the 4 immigration officers.
The operation was largely successful as no casualties were recorded on our own side. However, an unknown number of suspects escaped from the camp, and we see traces of blood in the camp to suggest that some of them sustained gunshot injury.
I want to say that I am with the Nigerian. The response received has resulted in this rescue operation, and my officers are, safe and sound.
The Nigerian Navy has in the meantime handed over these rescued immigration officers to the representative of the State Police Commissioner to assist the police with possible information to track down the fleeing kidnapped suspects. In Port Harcourt, Kingsley Amajiri, NTA News.
National President Immigration Officers' Wives Association, Gadat Babandede, has called on members of the association in Rivers State to work towards taking the association to greater heights. Gadatu Babandede was speaking at the inauguration of the Rivers State chapter of the Immigration Officers' Wives Association in Port Harcourt. Emmanuel Lene was at the event and reports.
The historic and epoch-making event was attended by wives of military and paramilitary officers as well as wives of other security agencies. National President, Immigration Officers Wives Association Hajia Gadatu Babandede, who performed the inauguration, charged the state chairperson of the association to carry everybody along to have a successful reign.
May I call all the members to note that success of this association largely depend on your operation.
Association's aims are 1. To cater for the needy and the less privileged. 2. To fight human trafficking. 3. To assist in combating the menace of child labor, among many others.
Deputy Governor of Rivers State, Ipalebo Haribanigo, represented as well as the Speaker of the Rivers State House of Assembly, Ikoyi, commended the efforts at helping the less privileged as well as reducing the menace of child abuse in the state.
Wherever we are going to partner as an institution of state, the legislature will not hesitate to do so.
The theme of the event is Care for the Less Privileged, creating awareness on irregular migration and child abuse in Rivers State. In Port Harcourt, Emmanuel Lene, NTA News.
And as our beat from Port Harcourt, the news will continue in Abuja right after the break. Good evening. 20 years of travel and counting. 20 years of promoting tourism in Africa and diaspora. 3 million kilometers traveled. Over 30 countries visited. Diaspora connected over 100. Reached over 50 million homes. Miles across Africa. Times 20. We thank you and must visit destination in partnership with the Ministry of Culture, Ministry of Transportation, Lagos State Government. Partner, call or
witness the commencement of the most stimulating contest of television. This contest is only for the strong, the talent, and the talent. Get ready for the Unity Challenge reality TV show. Coming.
Thanks for those. Now let's head right away to Maiduguri to join Mohammed to bring more words on Mohammed.
Thank you and welcome to Maiduguri. 54 across 6 local government areas of Borno State will benefit from over 450 million naira cash assistance through the government World Bank assisted project in collaboration with the state government as part of efforts to improve their livelihood. Yagum Subukar reports that the project is community driven.
Following the devastation by activities inside communities in Borno, the federal government, assisted by in collaboration with Borno State, decided to improve access for human development. Over 100 micro projects in areas of Kansi, Jere, Kundiga, Magumeri, Aga, and Ayolo. The disbursement checks to the benefiting community. Borno Deputy Governor Umar said it is the of government to bring its citizens out of poverty, hence the support of the community with micro projects. General Manager, Community and Social Development Agency Chirumo Usman urged local government councils that the to monitor the project.
We disbursed 469,000 as part of our commitment, the IDA component to benefit for benefiting communities.
The intervention on communities are for need assessment presented by the Project Management Committee and Group Project Management Committee. Yagum Subukar, NTA News.
Boko Haram abductees were raped by the actors handed over to the Borno State government by the state for their families. The Pastor Adele and Indaga Ibrahim report.
Receiving expertise on behalf of the security personnel and Khartoum Foundation for their efforts in securing the release of the apprehensions. Deputy Governor said the released expertise will undergo serious medical checkup to ascertain the condition of their health straight even they will be reunited with their family members. The two abductees were abducted 7 months ago in different locations. According to him, Pastor Adeleke, 58 years, abducted on his way from Maiduguri to Bama, while the him, 14 years, was abducted in Askira government area. They commended the state government, security personnel, and Khartoum Foundation in their release. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
Still on security, 106 bulls have been recovered at Auno South General area of Borno State from suspected Boko Haram insurgents following a combined operation by troops of the Nigerian Army, police, members of Civilian Joint Task Force and hunters. The recovered livestock were handed over to the Borno State government by the Theater Commander Operation Lafi Dole.
The combined operation at General area in Koga local government, which led to the recovery of 106 bulls, followed a of handing over the animals to Borno State Government Theater Commander Operation Lafia Dole, represented by the Garrison Commander General Sani Ebi Nomon, said suspected members of Boko Haram engaged in a while 3 died in the process.
We continue to assure people that best we maintain the peace. That our people should continue normal activities.
Commissioner for Local Government and Emirate Affairs, Sugunmai Mele, while the government breakthrough on that government with Allah Cattle Breeders Association towards ensuring that the bulls are used to.
We have commander, we have met with the commissioner of police, we have met with the
the government support in criminal elements in the street. Abubakar Muhammad, NT.
All from Abuja.
Thank you, Mohammed. And still on issues related to security, a book that will definitely interest Nigerian police as it speaks on fine country and to the public, titled Mbano Striking Free. The book is about the former Director General of Police and the chairman of the police commission, but also on ways the police force can enjoy public confidence. Here from Doing.
The journey of 1,000 miles, the city starts with a step. Just as every giant strides in life comes with dreams and determination. That is the story of young Mike Mboma Okiro, a one-time journalist who dropped the pen in exchange for a gun, all in the pursuit of a long-time dream. A move which today resulted in a striking footprint.
It was also a story of a man who had so many escapes and escapades throughout his life. And
368 pages biography is a compendium of the early days of Okiro in Oguta community and his experience of the 1967 Civil War in Nigeria, as well as the various stages of life journey of which shaped his perception about life.
Every young man, people who are unemployed, graduates, everything, not to give up hope. You have to work hard. That you don't achieve.
If we make the black man proud, nobody else. Therefore, I believe with people like
and emanate I think respected.
It was of other very book as a guiding light to the younger generation and most importantly help to foster peace and unity in the country. In Abuja, Don Dia, NT News.
An honor well deserved. In sports, Rivers who celebrate their emergence as champions of the 2019 Nigeria Basketball Federation President in Lagos. George has this and more on our sports update.
Nigerian women's basketball team, the Tigress, has qualified for the Women's Olympic qualifying tournament. The Nigerian girls Mali 459. The Nigerian girls had earlier walked over Congo in the first game and in the second match.